Hello again from Southern California. So tonight we have a guest whom you've seen before, and it happens to be his birthday. But
In 2 days.
in any case, close enough. So we figured, why not? Let's have some nice wine together. And so we're gonna comment with you on this bottle of Mazis Chambertin by Lucien Moine. So it's a Grand Cru 2006 Burgundy that is empty right now. So we've had a long evening to try to appreciate it and have some opinions about it. Just a bit of background on Lucien Moine. He's actually a Lebanese fellow by the name of Moine, who started a négociant business in Burgundy, called it Lucien Moine in memory of the monks that he grew up with, who he was educated by, and so it was kind of a little bit of a play on words and a sentimental thing. He's a négociant. They don't have their own vines, but he's been known to make really good wines. He has access to a lot of good juice. He's got his own shea, so they get the wine. They have secondary malolactic fermentation in the spring. And then after the élevage, it's all using gravity, very little SO2, because you have some of the SO2 created by the secondary fermentation. So it's kind of his whole process that allows him to make really good quality wines and put his brand on it. So lots of Premier Cru and Grand Cru. This is from Chambertin, Mazis Chambertin, so it's Grand Cru. It's one of the regions all the way at the northern end of sort of the Côte de Nuit. And then, you know, after that, he and his wife started another wine business in Châteauneuf. This one is under their own name. So that is Mounier Châteauneuf du Pape, also very high quality, very well known, but that's the same owner, it's the same guy. You're gonna find him under two different labels. Anyway, 2006, very fine Burgundy vintage. Not necessarily one of the better known, but I've had 2006 wines before, and they've been really very fine, very nicely evolved and balanced. So let's see what we have here.
Okay.
Fadi, do you have any comments on the color? This is what, I don't know, I guess you guys can see that through the white of Fadi's shirt and the windows.
So what do you want to talk about the color?
I mean, to me, it doesn't look like an old wine.
No.
I mean, you know, it's like still very red, very, I mean, it's burgundy, but it's not like orange or anything.
No, it's got a lot of body in it. The color is very dense. Although the sides you can feel that the burgundy.
The edges, yeah.
The edges are typical burgundy, but it still maintains its color per se. Go ahead.
Go ahead, no.
No, we had it with we had it with two different types of meals tonight. A meat, which was a flank steak on a barbecue, and we had it with spaghetti, particularly cacio e pepe. So it offered a character for both. For the meat, it had a very nice leathery nose, which was interesting to feel, but at the same time, you could feel some pepperiness that it was brought up even more beyond what the cacio e pepe would offer with that. It was light enough that you could cut through the cacio e pepe, and it was strong enough to be able to accompany a piece of meat.
So that is an interesting, you know, obviously this speaks to the multifaceted, if you want, layers in a Grand Cru or in a fine Burgundy. It could be strong, it could be subtle, there's acidity, there's body, there is a bouquet, and so we're gonna try to deconstruct some of these things as we look at the aroma and the nose and at the palate. On the nose, I still get a hefty dose of alcohol, even though it's not a very alcoholic wine. It's 13.5%. It's well aged, but I do get that sort of in the menthol, you know, medicinal, you know, note. I get flowers, so flower petals that are to me very typical of Burgundy. on the fruit side, very subtle, like more raspberry, more acidic, sort of not very sweet,
Yeah.
sort of kind of slight acidity on the raspberry type. Once in a while, I get like almost ash or powder, and we're gonna talk about this maybe
We're
in
going to talk
in the
about how it
taste.
changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's sort of, you know, again, it's like every time, every whiff, you get something new. This is at the end of the bottle. It's been opened almost half the day, and it's still continuing to change. And then Fadi can talk a little bit about this.
Yeah, I mean, it changed quite significantly from the start of the meal, which was almost a couple of hours ago, to when we poured the third part of the glass, effectively almost an hour after we started the meal. And since then, it didn't change a lot, but there was certainly a difference between the initial taste and the second taste. From the second taste, you could feel that it almost closed a little bit. There was definitely some more earthiness and dustiness in the wine, and less of the pepperiness, less of the flowers. And that was a very drastic change. Now that we've had it open for almost 2 hours on top of from the start of the meal, you can still start feeling that it's starting to open up again. You can start feeling the alcohol again. You can start feeling the floweriness again with that. But before it was, for a certain amount of time, it literally closed down completely.
Yeah, it's on the whole, it's still reasonably on the dry side, I think.
Definitely.
And what I mean by that is the powderiness, and these really sort of very fine but dry tannins that you feel, you know, in your mouth. There's a little bit of that smoky, you know, ashy-ness that I mentioned. Good acidity,
Yep.
and so that was very handy with the different kind of foods we had. Not a lot of a finish, I don't think.
No, there's not a lot. There's a lot of acidity. You can still
Yeah,
feel your tongue.
you can
in
feel it in your mouth, but not necessarily
No.
a back of your throat kind of finish. And to me, this is a wine that's still kind of, and this is this challenge with these Grand Cru, that no matter what, first, you never know if you're gonna have a bad surprise. But once you open it, because of the age, once you open it and it's in good shape, then I think you can be enjoying it for 24 hours with always good new thoughts and new impressions. I mean, in this case, it's not going to be possible because, you know,
finished.
it's finished.
And we're gonna
But
finish it with a piece
we're gonna,
of chocolate.
yes, but this is kind of, to me, what's so you know, interesting about these wines is the several stories they tell really during the same evening. And we're gonna have one more taste here and see if there's anything new. And to me, I go back to maybe two notions. The sort of the very rounded acidity, number one, and number two, this really good harmony between sort of power and subtlety that allows this wine to stand up to anything you want to throw to it as far as food is concerned, and to hold its own during the whole long evening. Any closing?
It's the same
comment?
thing. So it's acid and earthiness.
Yeah.
So the acidity will help you with the meat. The earthiness will help you with fatty foods, etc. And to add it with a piece of chocolate.
Chocolate, perfect. Cheers.
Enjoy
We'll
it.
see you all soon. Thanks.
The next
Good
time.
night.